Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Comedy Sports! Have we got an exciting matchup for you tonight? The Oregon Donors versus your Milwaukee Cheeseheads. First up for the Donors, at offensive halfwit, Jay Reading Rambeau. At wide punster, Sam Alama Ding Dong Whittington. And at the dry humor position and captain of the Oregon Donors, Amy Pepper Milstein. Now for your Milwaukee Cheeseheads. At right corner smirk, Dave, welcome to Hogwarts. At defensive lip-off, Alicia All Better Altstetter. And at quarter brain and captain of the Cheeseheads, Alan Cinnamon Thunder Guzkowski. And finally, your referee for tonight's matchup, Mark the Biscuit Redlick. Please enjoy the show.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to ComedySportz. Thank you for joining us for another virtual extravaganza this Friday evening between the Oregon Donors and the Milwaukee Cheeseheads. So a very special match this evening indeed. Before we get started with this evening's match, first of all, a few things. We are doing ComedySportz, that is improvised comedy based on audience suggestions. So what I need you guys to do right away is start warming up your fingers by typing in a few suggestions on your keyboard or portable device. So first of all, why don't you type into the chat your favorite color, and then after that, give me your favorite tree. All right, so I want your favorite color and your favorite tree. We're going to defer to our field manager, FM, who will be fielding all those suggestions from you for this evening's match. And we'll take the first suggestion that either he sees or that strikes his fancy, and we'll base that scene or game around that suggestion. So let's check in with FM here. Do we have some colors coming through now?
Oh, we do, Mark. We've got Lisa with green, Sue with purple, Emily with purple, Peggy with cherry.
All right, so we've got some excellent colors. We would take the first one that FM deems worthy, and we would base our scene or game around that suggestion. What about favorite trees? We got the cherry. I think that was, I assume purple and green were not trees.
Good call, Mark. Joe gave us Weeping Willow.
Weeping Willow, excellent. We don't get enough of the Weeping Willow lately. So thank you very much for your suggestions. It seems like you guys are primed and ready for this evening's match. So before we get started with this evening's match, there are two fouls that I'm going to explain to you guys this evening. Since it is a competitive team-based competition, I will be redundant all evening, all night. So we have a couple of fouls that may be called this evening, the first of which is the infamous brown bag foul. Everybody put your hands up over your head and do it with me. Here we go, the brown bag foul. I could not see you, but I felt your energy, so I feel that you guys are doing it at home, which I appreciate. The brown bag foul occurs when one of the players who's on the playing field or on your screen says something that is lewd, crude, lascivious, downright dirty, but most importantly, out of context with the rest of the scene. Now, the key phrase is out of context. We want to try and challenge ourselves and keep the jokes from here up. So if I see or hear anything that I deem to be overtly poopy, the offending player will have to wear a brown paper bag over his or her head for the remainder of the scene, and that player's team then loses 1 point. That is the brown bag foul. The second foul that can be called at ComedySportz is the groaner foul. Everybody at home, choke yourself for the ones you love. Here we go, the groaner foul. The groaner foul occurs if a player during the match says something that is basically a bad pun, a horrible dad joke, something that makes you audibly groan in pain. Now, since we aren't in a live performance setting, you guys need to let us know that you did not appreciate that joke by typing groan into the chat. So start doing that now. We're going to have to get a certain amount of groaning to happen before we would call the groaner foul. But FM will be monitoring the chat and will let me know if a groaner foul has been committed. And if that happens at the end of that scene or game, we will force the offending player to apologize to you, our loyal fans, for making you groan. I'll then ask you to accept or decline the apology. If you decline the apology, that player's team loses 1 point and any self-respect they have. So those are the fouls. Any other fouls I will make up as I go along, since I'm drunk with power and Jim Beam. So before we get started with this evening's match, we need to welcome both captains to center field. So everybody give a wave of the fingers or round of applause or show your appreciation in the chat. We're gonna welcome Captain Milstein and Captain Guskowski to center field. Let's bring them out right now.
Hey-o!
All right, Captain Milstein, Captain Guskowski, Captain Milstein, thank you for shaking hands virtually in the sign of good sportsmanship. I do not have a coin for the coin toss this evening because I am broke. And I also can't pronounce or spell either of your last names, so I can't do that as a warm-up. Let's do a quick round of higher number to see who gets to choose what they'd like to open this evening's match with. I need both captains to think of a number and let me know when you have that number ready.
Got it.
All right, Alan, what is your number?
777.
777. That is a very powerful number. Captain Milstein, what is your number?
So weird. 778.
778 is the higher number. Captain Milstein, you have won the face-off challenge.
I keep getting closer. It's every time, just a little.
It's always close.
I couldn't have done it without you.
You did a great job in the opening round. You can challenge the Milwaukee Cheeseheads to any head-to-head game of your devising.
Well, I challenge you to the Milwaukee played 9 out of 10.
Okay, you've been challenged to a 9 out of 10. Do you accept that, Guskowski?
Hooray!
All right, that's a yes. You guys can return to your virtual dugouts. I will take a moment and explain the game of 9 out of 10 to you, our loyal fans. What I need from you guys, first of all, you can start typing in the chat. How about a new hobby that you've picked up since the pandemic began? So something that you might have learned while you were in quarantine. Give us that new hobby in the chat. Now, since the Milwaukee team was challenged, they will begin speaking about that hobby. At any point during that, any of the Oregon players can yell out challenge. They'll raise their hand and challenge. I'll stop time and ask them what they're challenging about. They will justify their challenge. If I think it's a good justification, meaning creative, entertaining, or funny, I'll let them continue by having the box, so to speak. So they will then get to speak on the topic. Now, the object of this game is to be the team in the box at the end of 3 minutes. The team that is in the box at the end of 3 minutes will receive 2 bonus points for their team. And then we will come to you guys, and your vote will determine which team receives 5 points for the round. You can use whatever criteria you want. Who had the box for longer? Who was more entertaining? Specific gravity. I don't care what it is, but you need to vote for one team and not both of them, because that's just dumb. All right, so we got to defer to FM and find out what new hobby we have gotten from our loyal fans. What do we have there?
You know what? We've got a lot of fun ones here, a lot of creative ones. Let's go with Lego building, Legos.
Lego building. All right, so we are going to be talking about Lego building for our 9 out of 10 this evening. Players, both teams, I need you guys at the ready on our virtual playing field. You have 3 minutes. Cheeseheads, you will begin. Players, are you ready?
Yes.
Begin.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend that children learn to play with Legos. It helps build their cognitive abilities. Also,
Challenge.
Yes, Amy.
It is not Legos. It is Lego bricks. Check the registered trademark.
That's true. They are bricks. So, Amy, you have the box. Continue, please.
It's really weird. It's Lego bricks. You build with Lego. It's a Lego system, but you never put the S on. They get real cranky about that over in Denmark. And if you've ever seen a
Challenge.
Alan.
They don't get cranky about anything in Denmark. They're all very, very happy.
They are kind of chill. That's true. Alan, you have the box. Continue.
They whistle and skip on their way to work, and all their work is making toys that are also teaching about construction, teaching about math. It's more education than fun sometimes, but you can't tell that to a child.
Jay.
I believe there is also an industry in making breakfast pastries.
Yeah, a very strong one in Denmark. You can continue, Jay.
The Danish are well regarded as a delicious treat to have alongside other protein items like eggs, bacon, sausage. So you get the full, well-rounded diet that breakfast cereals always talk about in their commercials.
Alan.
Alan.
I tried to make a Danish out of Legos and it caused a blockage that my doctor said was very dangerous.
Ooh, I want to hear more about that. Alan, continue. You have a box.
So I ate the individual bricks, hoping that my stomach would be able to construct what it needed to, but it turns out all my stomach knows how to build is the most spiky thing imaginable that I then had to try and move from organ to organ. And the Legos weren't conducive.
Sam?
If it's going through your digestive systems, there's not particular organs in the digestive tract past the stomach. It goes into small intestine, large intestine, or sometimes called the bowel.
Okay, I'll take that. I want to know more, Sam, please.
If you take the 2-brick Lego and you multiply it 3 times, that's the same as a 2x3 brick Lego or a 6-point Lego. When you stack these on top of each other, you can...
Dave?
I've stepped on a Lego before, and there are definitely 8 points to that terrible brick.
Okay. Dave, continue.
I have a 5-year-old, and let me tell you.
Sam?
What about the heads of the Lego men? They don't have 8 sides.
Ooh.
That's true.
We were talking
They
about
lack
the
a lot
brick.
of corners.
Yeah, they're bricks too.
All right, I'm going to go with Sam on this one.
When you have enough Lego bricks, you can construct your entire city and govern it.
Challenge, there can never be enough Lego bricks. I will never have enough Lego bricks.
Okay, Alan, I agree. Continue.
I need more, different shapes, different colors. I was born in the unique period where I remember Legos were just random, but now all Legos have to be build this thing. I don't want to build this thing. I want to build whatever thing. You don't know me, Lego instructions. I need options. My brain
Alan,
needs to be free.
Jay.
If you go to the Lego retail locations, they all have these big, beautiful walls filled with bins of nothing but multicolored Legos. You can make it into anything you want.
That's true. You wouldn't run out if you got those. Jay, continue.
These Lego locations can be found in many popular destinations like
1
Disneyland
minute
or
left.
Legoland in the San Diego
Alan!
metro area.
Dave.
We live in Wisconsin. There's nothing that cool here.
That's true. Unfortunately, Dave, you can continue.
The best thing that you could possibly get close to Wisconsin is maybe Six Flags, and that's even down in Illinois. Please, people, get something cool here in Wisconsin. We need some.
Sam?
I heard about the Wisconsin Dells on that 70s show. Is that still a thing?
That is still a thing, and I think it's kind of cool. So, Sam, plasticky, but cool. Continue, Sam.
You know, they have Legos that have motors in them that can actually turn different kinds of building projects. So you can create Ferris wheel, you can create cars.
Challenge.
Alicia.
I tried to build a Ferris wheel, but I got 2 of the thin ones stuck together and my thumbnail was too short, so it took me the entire time and they never came apart and was unable to attach motor.
That sounds traumatic. I want to know more. We have 30 seconds left.
That's right. You can follow the directions, you can free build, but if 2 of those things come together inadvertently, sometimes they're stuck there from the package. You might borrow a tweezers from your mom or...
Challenge.
Sam?
Lego builds a tool specifically designed to separate bricks.
Yes, they do. Continue, Sam.
You can find said tool for $2.79 on Amazon.com. You also want...
Alan?
I'm not supporting Jeff Bezos. I won't go to Amazon.com to find anything.
But they are still available there, so I have to side with Sam yet.
Then, once you have everything constructed, you can bring in your own tiny little King Kong to destroy.
Hey!
I remember this. This was a Prime Day deal. We don't have that anymore.
Okay. I need to know more, but we only have 3 seconds left.
Amazon sells Lego.
Challenge!
Whether it's Prime Day or not, you can still get good deals if you shop smartly, regardless of Amazon or not.
That is true, Sam. You can continue. Oh, Alan.
Challenge. I've never done anything smartly a day in my life.
That is true,
Challenge.
Alan. You have the box. Jay?
I suspect Alan is the one out of the 10 doctors that doesn't agree.
That is also true, Jay. You have the box. Alicia?
Alan did not finish any type of schooling that would get him a doctorate.
Well, that's true, but that also agrees with what Jay was kind of saying in a way. So I'm continuing with Jay.
He said
There was
he
even a Lego movie that was.
Okay, we have reached time for the game of 9 out of 10. I believe we had the Oregon team in the box, so they get 2 bonus points for their team, bringing their score to 2-0, but that's going to change right now. We need you guys to start voting in the chat which team you preferred in the round of 9 out of 10. Red will represent the Milwaukee team. Blue will represent the Oregon team. If you get confused, look at their shirts. They're color-coded. All right, so we will give you some time to vote and defer to Mr. Voice. Mr. Voice, do you have any announcements that you want to share with our loyal fans this evening?
Why, Mark, we have nothing but announcements. You can make sure you like and subscribe to us right here on our YouTube channel, CSz Milwaukee, and that way you can catch every single one of our live shows. You can also head over to portlandcomedy.com and check on our CSz brothers and sisters over there in Oregon. Even though I'm told I'm not supposed to pronounce it Oregon.
Oregon is the city in Wisconsin. Oregon is the state of the U.S., I believe. So thank you very much, though, Mr. Boyce. Let's check in with FM. How did the voting turn out?
Oh, it turned out that the points go to your Milwaukee Cheeseheads.
All right. So what is the score now, Dr. Boyce, Mr. Boyce?
The score is 5 for the Cheeseheads and 2 for the Oregon Donors.
Okay, so 5-2. Mr. Boyce, are you accredited? Should I be saying Dr. Boyce?
Absolutely. I spent 8 years in voice school.
I'm sorry, Dr. Boyce. I will try and correct my ways. All right, so that means the Milwaukee Cheeseheads are currently ahead. I need Captain Guskowski at center field, please. And now you get to choose how you'd like your game chosen for the round of choose how you'd like your game chosen.
Choose our round in the game of choose our game in the rounding of chooses. We would like to choose the game of Hot Bell.
Hot Bell, choicely made. All right, so the game is Hot Bell. Now for the game of Hot Bell, what we first need to do is send one of the Cheesehead players out of the room. Captain, who will be leaving?
I can smell Dave from his house in my house, so he needs to go wash up. Dave will be leaving.
All right, Dave's gonna leave in search of soap. And once he is out of earshot, we will get 10 different things from you guys. So you can start typing in the chat right away. I need 10 different items. Now these can be just everyday nouns. They can be accessories that you may find unusual. They can be abstract concepts, all right? But we need 10 things put in the chat. Just keep them simple. They don't need to be jazzed up at all. Just keep them very simple, and then we'll come to FM in a moment. Now, the idea behind the game of Hot Bell, the idea behind the game of Hot Bell is that Dave is out of earshot. He is away from the screen. He does not see or hear any of these suggestions that we get from you guys. When he comes back onto the virtual playing field, Alan and Alicia will be taking turns, one word at a time, trying to explain a clue that leads Dave to guess what that thing is. Dave gets one guess. When Alan and Alicia are done delivering the clue, they will make a hot bell sound, which sounds like
Ding.
Ding. And then Dave knows that that's as much of the clue as he gets, and he has to guess at that point. If Dave guesses correctly, he will get 1 point for the Cheesehead team. Now, if he guesses incorrectly, we will take 1 point away from the Cheesehead team. So they could possibly, at the end of this round, end up with a negative score for the game, which makes it very exciting and risky. So that's how the game is played. They will have 4 minutes to get through all 10 things as needed, but we need to check in with our field manager, FM. What do we have for our list of things? Let's get those now.
Oh, definitely. We have a very creative audience with us tonight, giving us a lot of good suggestions.
Awesome.
First off, we've got pirates. Pirates. And followed by ketchup.
Okay, ketchup.
Next up, we have donut hole.
A donut hole.
And what better thing to follow up a donut hole than Betty White?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. And following Betty White is a nightmare. We have a nightmare.
Which is like having Betty White and no donut holes. Continue.
Next up is, oh, perfect. We have Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail. In favor of our guests this evening.
Okay.
And next up, for number 7, we have spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment.
So Betty White.
Yes. After that, number 8. Number 8 is going to be socks. We've got socks.
Socks, we need 2 more.
And giant haystack is number 9. And the last thing that we will have after socks and a giant haystack is a ham radio.
Ham radio. Okay, these are excellent suggestions. Give yourselves a little appreciation, a round of applause, a wave of your fingers. All right, these are 10 very difficult things. Now, like I said, they have 1 word at a time per player to drop their clue to Dave Warts. If he guesses correctly, 1 point was awarded. If he guesses incorrectly, we will take a point away. Dr. Voice, can you keep track of the score for me?
Absolutely, Mark.
All right, I am not a mathematician, so I am relying on you. We know what those 10 things are. They are up there on your screen, I believe. So we need to start the game by first calling Dave back into the room. So everybody yell out, "Hey, Dave, we miss you" on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Dave, we miss you on the count of 3.
You didn't need to say all of that, Alan. But all right, once Dave appears on screen, you will be ready to start the game. All right, Dave Warts, you have 4 minutes for the game of Hot Bell. 10 very, very unique and diverse items. Cheeseheads, are you ready?
Yes.
Begin.
Yar.
Goes.
Me.
When.
I.
Am.
Sailing.
The.
Ship.
Thing.
Pirate.
Yes.
Hot.
Dog.
And.
Buns.
Go.
Through.
The.
Intestines.
After.
I.
Add.
Some.
Red.
Sauce.
Day.
Is it ketchup?
That's correct. Continue.
Crispy.
Cream.
Has.
Some.
Missing.
Piece.
To.
Eat.
Ding.
Ding.
Donut holes.
Yes.
Thank.
You.
For.
Being.
A.
Friend.
That.
Named.
Rose.
Ding.
Ding.
Betty White.
That's a little scary, Dave.
I was prepared for all of them.
sorry.
I
Was
frightened.
when
I
woke
up
because
of
this
ding.
thing.
Nightmare.
You
play
and
try
but
you
died
while
having
dysentery.
ding.
Oregon Trail.
That's correct.
Zen.
Oh,
I
have
clear
and
plentiful
1 minute.
mind
journeys.
ding.
Enlightenment.
Not close enough for me. I'm sorry.
My
Feet
are
cold.
so
Put
these
on ding.
ding.
Socks.
Yes. 30 seconds.
Farmers
Lose
brains
of
this
needle
in
here.
ding.
Ding.
A haystack.
It's not close enough for me.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Giant haystack. 10 seconds left. Giant is important.
Listen,
To
5.
stations.
on
This
pork
player.
And with pork, I'm sorry. No more can be said. You get one chance to guess, Dave.
A Porky Pig stethoscope.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. That is not correct. That last one was a ham radio.
Ham radio.
And enlightenment was spiritual
Spiritual
enlightenment. I needed
enlightenment. You were
both
so-
words.
Oh, you're so close,
I'm
bud.
Amazed.
Dang.
I'm sorry, you did great though. You did it overall a very good job. I think the score is up there. Dr. Boyce, what does that bring the total to?
Why, that brings the total to 11 to the Cheeseheads to 2 for the donors. If I did my
All
math
so
right.
11 for the Cheeseheads, 2 for the donors, and we need to check in with Captain Milstein right now. So Captain Milstein, come to center field here. And what game would you like to choose, or how would you like your game chosen for the round of choose? How you'd like your game chosen?
Hold on, here. Oh, I'm here. I got here finally. I think we're gonna do new choice.
New choice. Excellent.
New
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
All right, so for the game of new choice, you can return to your virtual dugout, and I will get some suggestions from you, our loyal fans. What I need from you guys for the game of new choice, give me an unusual occupation. All right, so maybe a job that you would like to have, but it's kind of off the beaten path. So not like a lawyer or a dentist or those, things that you aspire to be when you're 5 years old. Give me something more obscure if you can. Get that in the chat there. We'll see what strikes FM's fancy in a moment. Now, the Oregon team will be doing a scene about that suggestion. At any point during that scene, I will give a quick toot on the whistle and yell out, new choice. When I do, the player who is speaking has to somehow change the last thing that they said in that scene. They can change up and make a new offer. I might ask for something more specific. Instead of a new choice, I may direct them in some way, asking for a new, very specific thing in that scene. We'll see how I feel as the game goes. Like I said, I'm drunk with power, not afraid to flaunt it. And they will continue on as long as I'm asking new choice. They have to change it when I'm done saying new choice. Whatever was said last is what actually happens in the scene, and they must continue carrying through with that last statement. Now, the game will last for about 4 minutes. At the end of this game, since this is not a head-to-head round, we will come to you guys, and your votes will once again determine which team receives 5 points for the round of choose how you'd like your game chosen. So be ready to vote at the end of this. Let's check in with FM and see what kind of unusual occupation we got from our loyal fans.
Oh, yes. We got a lot of creative people out there. We're going to go with Doc's suggestion of bear wrestler.
Bear wrestler. Now that is an unusual occupation I think we all can get behind. All right, so we have a bear wrestler for our scene. Oregon, you have 4 minutes for the game of new choice. Players, are you ready?
Yes.
Then begin.
Pinned it.
Good job, sweetie pie.
I think I'm ready to move on to, something living now.
You think so? Maybe we should go to Chuck E. Cheese and you could try an animatronic.
Ooh.
Hey, new choice.
Maybe we could go to the lake and you could wrestle a goose.
Ooh. Geese are kind of scary.
They hiss.
Yeah. I don't want to wrestle a goose, Mommy.
Now, how are you going to get to the big leagues if you can't even start with a goose?
Well, it's the hissing. Bears don't hiss.
You're right. Maybe we can get a silent goose?
Ooh. Yeah. Do geese get laryngitis?
Jay, new reaction.
Wow. You're so smart. I'm glad you're my mommy.
I had to go to smart mom school before they let me have you.
Oh.
All right, Gary. Listen, no hissing.
Well, I don't like you, Dad.
If you want to wrestle a bear, you gotta get through me.
Sam, new choice.
If you want to wrestle a bear, you can't be afraid of a goose.
Sam, new choice.
If you want to wrestle a bear, start with something scarier so it won't be so intimidating.
Oh, that's good advice. Wow. I think maybe I'll start with a badger.
Badgers are a good choice. They're smaller but more fierce.
They're pretty scary.
They
Or
sure
a ghost. I could wrestle a ghost.
A ghost
I'll go get one for you. Just a minute.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be a great career. So
Hey,
excited.
new choice.
Oh, I wonder what kind of money you make wrestling a ghost.
Jay, new choice.
Now, I hope he doesn't get Casper. That's a wussy ghost.
You don't want a friendly ghost.
No. No.
Wrestle me.
All right, I'm going to sit back and let the fur and blood fly and sheep.
Okay. I think I'm ready for this. Oh, he's intangible.
Hey,
I
new
can't.
attack routine.
Hey, what's that over there?
You did it, sweetie. You even got the little Miss Pac-Man sound.
Amy, new reaction.
Oh no! Ghosty! Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I thought we were just practicing.
That was my new boyfriend, sweetie.
Another new dad?
You can never have too many new dads.
Amy, new choice.
I thought this dad would be better than the last dad.
Well, the last dad was a hissing goose, so yeah, I think it probably is.
Okay, that's time for the game of new choice by the Oregon team. Give them a wave of the fingers, a round of applause. Show your appreciation in the chat. That was 4 minutes, and they did an excellent job in the game of new choice. So now we turn it over to you guys. Start voting right away. Red for the Milwaukee team, blue for the Oregon team, and decide which team you thought did a better job in the round of Choose How You'd Like Your Game shows. And the team with the most votes after a few more seconds will receive 5 points for the round. Let's check in with FM. FM, are the votes still coming in, or have they been pretty much tallied?
Well, Mark, before we check in with FM, there is a slight scoring update as my math was very bad. So I need to let everyone know that after the last Milwaukee game, they only have 9 points and not 11. I thoroughly apologize.
That sounds actually better, but again, I asked you to keep track because I could not. So appreciate that very much, Dr. Voice. It's good that you are paying attention to those details. All right, let's check in with FM now, because I'm sure the score needs to change.
Oh, certainly. We had a lot of votes coming in, and those 5 points go to Milwaukee.
Okay, so 5 points go to the Milwaukee Cheeseheads, and that brings their score to what, Dr. Voice?
Why, that brings their score to 14, and the Oregon Donors have 2.
Oregon Donors have 2, okay. But they did an excellent job, and for playing the game of New Choice, which is a very difficult game, I'd like to give the Oregon team one more bonus point, because they did an excellent job in that game, and I was thoroughly entertained throughout the 4 minutes. So let's bring the captains one more time to center field. Captain Milstein, Captain Guskowski. Captain Milstein.
I will take your pity point all the way to the bank.
It's not a pity point. It is a point of recognition. So,
worth even more. Thank you.
So Captain Milstein, you are currently behind, and you can challenge the Milwaukee team to any head-to-head game of your devising.
Well, I think it's time to throw down at a town hall meeting.
All right, Captain Guskowski, you've been challenged to a town hall meeting. Do you accept?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Then yes.
Good. It works out much better that way. For the game of town hall meeting, what's going to happen is in a moment, we're going to have both teams up here on your screen, and they will be characters within a town. So what I need you guys to start doing right now, give me the name of a made up town that doesn't exist, just so we know where we're all from, give our town some identity. And then after that, what I would like you to type in there, give me a pet peeve of yours. All right, put a pet peeve into the chat there. Let's get an unusual pet peeve. All right, we're gonna see during this game, since you know what, since the Dendrites, not the Dendrites, the Oregon team were issuing the challenge, I'll let you guys choose if you want to be for or against this topic this evening. Captain Milstein?
Oh, we're for it.
All right, so they are for that pet peeve. They want to be able to continue doing that thing in our town. That means the Milwaukee Cheeseheads will be against that topic. Now, they are going to take turns, or however, whoever wants to speak. It's an open town hall meeting, so whoever wants to speak will be granted the floor to say their piece about whether or not we should allow that thing in our town. At the end of the game, after everybody's had a chance to say their piece, we're going to come to you guys, and you will vote and determine which team you thought did a better job in the round of town hall meeting. You can use, again, whatever criteria you want, but you need to vote for only one of the team. No double voting. That's an offense. All right, so let's check in with FM. Do we have, first of all, a name for our town?
Oh, we certainly do. We definitely do, Mark. We have Ogler's Stump.
Ogler's Stump. I heard that right?
Correct.
All right. Oh, Ogler's Stump. All right, I already have the location in my head. All right, so Ogler's Stump is the name of our town. And now, what is the pet peeve that our loyal fans have come up with that grabbed your attention?
Yeah, Joe gave us slow, fast lane drivers. People driving slow in the fast lane.
All right, so the Oregon team will be for the ability to drive slow in the fast lane in our town of Ogler's Stump, and the Milwaukee Cheeseheads will be against having slow drivers in the fast lane in our town of Ogler's Stump. So this is how the game is played. It lasts for as long as it takes. So let's check in with our two teams. Players, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Then I call this town meeting to order. Thank you for all showing up at Ogler's Stump. Just a note on the treasury here. We have a surplus of funds in the treasury this year. The bake sale was a phenomenal success. So I want to thank you guys all for participating and helping raise a lot of money. It looks like we are going to get that upgrade to the Main Street intersection and Town Square section now. So we will be creating a nice little gazebo there for you all later this summer. So I know you guys are thrilled about that, but we got to get down to business. We have a very important topic to discuss today. We have a lot of complaints about slow drivers in the fast lane here. So I'd like to open it up and get some more input from our residents here before we take a vote on this next Tuesday. So anybody who'd like to speak? Yes, you ma'am, Cinnamon?
Absolutely. My name is Gladys. I know you all know me. I was the head librarian in our town for many years. Obviously, times have changed. There's not as many people able to come to the library. So I tried to become a dancer. Cinnamon Thunder's my dancing name at the Boom Boom Room. They took record losses of money when I began to dance. So I had to find something else to do. And what Gladys decided to do was take matters into her own hands with some vigilante justice. That's right. I'm the one who stumped most of the Oglers in Ogler's Stump because they were committing crimes. And just like Batman, that's right, Gladys knows about Batman. Just like Batman, I need to drive a fancy freaking car everywhere to fight crime. So I need them to get out of Gladys's way in the slow lane so I can drive like a maniac and stump some more Oglers, because that's all Gladys has in her life anymore.
All right. Well, thank you, Gladys, and that is entered into the record, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how confessional you think your point was here this evening. Yeah, you, sir, with the glasses.
Yeah, Madge. I work at the diner. You know, you're there every night eating dinner by yourself. You should know who I am by now. The number 3 special every night, waiting for you. Now, there's been a trend lately. The high school hoodlums, they've been dining and dashing with us, and that's just not right. So I figure if we can get people going slower in the fast lanes, they're not going to be able to get away quite as fast. And yes, I'll get to that order in a second. You just hold your horses, hon. You just hold your horses. If they slow down, then we'll have a chance to get them, and they'll have to pay for their meal. And that way, maybe we won't have to charge you $7.95 for a glass of orange juice.
All right.
Give me their names. What are the names of the diners and dashers? Gladys will put a stop to it.
Yeah,
they don't leave IDs. They take them with them.
Yeah, I think that is a problem, but a very ingenious solution. If we allow the slow drivers in there, they can't get away as quickly. Thank you very much. That is an important point to keep in mind as we come to our vote.
I'll get it. You wait.
All right. With the baseball cap, the red hat.
Yeah, this year I'm Skeeter. Nice to meet you. My occupation here is freelance. Mostly you'll find me under the bleachers at the high school games. Some people drop phones or like hot dogs, and I pick them up. But let me tell you, when I get a hold of some of them, I take off in my Chevy Spark, and I gotta be heading out of there quick, if you know what I mean. And it's happened where I've sped up and someone's real slow, and then we just got problems from there on out for Skeeter while I'm taking off with those, things people drop under the bleachers. So I say, go fast, get out of Ogler's Stump, Skeeter.
All right. Thank you, Skeeter. Yes, ma'am, with the lovely hair.
Well, thank you. Now, as Ogler's Stump resident witch, I want you to know that my broom and my spells they're getting older like me. And so if you don't want me to start eating the Ogler's Stump children and youngins, we need slow drivers in the fast lane so I can catch and eat the tourists. This was our agreement. And I want to hold up my end, although Gladys, you are looking delicious.
Gladys came to the right meeting. There's witches and thieves all over the place. Gladys is getting pumped.
Dolores, I can help you out. I can collect a few. Just hit me up.
Ooh, I like the thrill of the chase, though. It gets my juices going. But I just want a slow chase. And I'll leave your babies alone.
Okay. All right. So an important message, especially for anybody who just had their firstborn. Thank you very much, Dolores. All right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I hear a voice.
Me. We seem to have an issue around here. And let me tell you, brother. But hold on. I don't get a proper introduction. You do know that I do have a title, good sir. And that name is Maverick O'Dickens. I'm the #1 wrestler here in this fine city. And like I said, I have an affection for titles. And if there's anything that I'm gonna do, the Mav Daddy is gonna be racing straight to the top to get the local county belt. Because if there's anything Mav O'Dickens likes, why, it's nothing but 10 pounds of gold strapped around his waist. So, we need to pick up the speed here in Oglesburg Stump. Because if we don't, then how is Mav Daddy gonna be winning his next title belt?
Have you tried a spell?
Oh, I got a spell for you. You're gonna be left in daze and confusion as Mav O'Dickens jumps off that top rope with a flying elbow press. Ooh, let me hear you.
Hooray!
I hope he drops one of them belts.
All right. I had no idea we had Maverick O'Dickens visiting this week. We would have had your theme music ready. My apologies there. Sir, you in the orange hat. You've been looking like you want to say something?
Yes, I'm a carcass collector. You gotta not only get carcasses on the right side of the road. No, sometimes they're on the left side, or known as the fast lane. You can't just scoop them up going 70. You gotta slow down to about 30 so I can get my hand and shovel out my window and scoop up the carcasses. Cause how am I gonna keep this town clean of carcasses if I can't go slow?
Listen here, Steve Zuzu. I'm gonna leave a carcass right along the side of the road with you.
Yeah, and I got your mom's carcass there, maniac.
Too soon.
He can't go slow by the chicken farm. Well, you won't have chicken specials for dinner.
Yeah, we need to keep it civil. All right, let's all just meet up at the diner if we need to a little bit later, and we can continue this conversation. I can tell the temperature of the room is getting a little bit too heated, so we're gonna have to call it right now. But I appreciate all your input. It has all been entered into the record for the meeting, and don't forget to vote next Tuesday. We're gonna find out if we're gonna allow slow drivers in the fast lanes. So thank you very much. And that is time for the game of Town Hall meeting by both teams. So let's keep both teams up here on your virtual playing field on the screen for you. You guys need to start voting now in the chat. Which team's work did you prefer in the round of Town Hall meeting? Red for Milwaukee, blue for Oregon. All right, get those votes cast there now. And let's check in with Dr. Voice. Dr. Voice, how about a couple of quick reminders where our loyal fans can go to help out our Comedy Sports teams?
Absolutely, Mark. Our loyal fans here can head over to portlandcomedy.com to check out our CSz brothers and sisters over there in Oregon. or however you pronounce it, I honestly forget. You can also head over to our Facebook page, Milwaukee ComedySportz, which will give you updates on all of our live shows and updates on open improv, workshops, and so much more.
It's like a one-stop shop for all your information on Milwaukee ComedySportz. Thank you very much, Dr. Voice. Let's check in with FM. I'm sure the votes have been cast. Which team did better or got more votes in the round of town hall meeting?
Oh, this was the closest one yet. At this point, I'm counting them up, and it looks like your Oregon donors take the round.
All right, so 5 points go to the Oregon donors for the round, and that brings the score to what, Dr. Voice?
That brings the score to 8 for the Oregon donors and 14 for the Cheeseheads, including 1 pity point.
Okay, let's refrain from calling it a pity point, all right? I'm actually, take away a point from Dr. Voice for calling it a pity point here.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to call it a point of pride.
Point of pride, I like that. Give the Oregon team another point, please, Dr. Voice. Give them the point that you lost.
Now the score is 9 for the Oregon donors to 14 to the Cheeseheads. And
like
negative
recycling.
1 for me.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Voice. You can have a point back for updating me when I didn't even need to be updated. Thank you. So that brings us to our final round of competition. I need both captains at center field one more time. So Captain Milstein, Captain Guskowski, good to see you both up here. Captain Milstein, you are still behind, but you have narrowed the gap. You can issue a last chance freeze pun-based challenge to the Milwaukee team. What game would you like to play?
You know, I live in Oregon, but I'm really from New Jersey, so I want to play a little Jimmy the Pigeon.
Jimmy the Pigeon. You've been challenged to a Jimmy the Pigeon round. Do you accept?
Please and thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now for the game of Jimmy the Pigeon, what's going to happen is all our players will once again be on your screen, and they will be taking turns telling you a joke that follows a standard format. That format is, hey, did you hear about Jimmy the blank? And then I'll say, no, what? And they'll reply with a punchline. All right. It is a pun-based game. So if you like dad jokes, if you like puns, low-brow humor, all right, this is the game for you. Just low humor, not low-brow humor necessarily. I just like sticking in extra words sometimes. So the game is called Jimmy the Pigeon. An example of a good Jimmy the Pigeon joke might be if I asked you for your favorite food and you said bananas. It could be, hey, did you hear about Jimmy the Banana? And then I'll say, no, what? And the player will say, yeah, he was being chased. He had to split.
Oh.
It is a groaner achievement game. And unfortunately, they won't all be that funny. I had 2 weeks to write that one. The players will be making them up on the spot. So if I thought they were good, meaning creative, entertaining, or funny, I will give a toot on the whistle for that joke, and the team that told it will receive 2 points. If I thought it was bad, as judged by me and my vast reservoir of comedy knowledge, I will go, and neither team will receive points. Not the team that told it, not the team that watched it. Nobody gets points in that case. Dr. Voice, can you keep track of the good jokes for me?
I would love to.
All right, and I should have gotten this right away. I need some occupations from you guys in the chat. So start typing in those occupations. Should have asked for that right away. Forgot to do it, so we're gonna have to take a few seconds here. And I just wanna once again thank our Oregon team for joining us on this Friday night. So thank them for coming out and joining us for a intercity extravaganza this Friday evening, spicing up your Friday night. And let's check in with FM. Do we have some occupations coming through?
Oh, we certainly do. Our first one up is a dentist.
All right, keep them coming. I want some more occupations, but we will start with Jimmy the dentist. Players, both teams, are you ready?
Yes.
Then begin. Jay.
Hear about Jimmy the dentist?
No, what?
Cops drilled him.
Ellen.
You hear about Jimmy the dentist?
No, what?
He was arrested. He wouldn't submit to a cavity search.
Alicia.
Did you hear about Jimmy the dentist?
No,
No.
what?
Well, this is gonna get kind of gory, so brace yourself.
All right. Amy, sorry.
Hey, did you hear about Jimmy the dentist?
No, what?
He relocated to Molar City.
Jay.
Did you hear about Jimmy the dentist?
No, what?
He's opened up a new nightclub. To get in, you gotta tell the secret code that Ginger invited us.
All right, I'm going to allow that one. We're going to call time on that round. Let's get another occupation from FM.
Sure, we've got zookeeper.
All right, zookeeper. And now type in the chat just any noun at all. Start typing any noun in there that you'd like to see used there. But in the meantime, we have Jimmy the zookeeper. All right, so Alicia.
Did you hear about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
Well, they put him away because they found out he was lying.
Nice. All right, Sam.
Hey, did you hear about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
They've been chasing him for a while. They can't catch him because he's too cagey.
All right, Dave.
You hear about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
He's a complete animal.
Jay.
Hear about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
His crimes are done. The cops finally got him behind bars.
Good. Alan.
You hear about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
He's sleeping with the fishes.
Amy.
Hey, did you hear that story about Jimmy the zookeeper?
No, what?
Man, it is wild.
All right, let's switch it up one more time. FM, give me one of those nouns that somebody's written in the chat.
Oh, sure. A couple times beer came up.
Beer. All right. So, and you can type in more nouns or food if you want to get specific there, but we have Jimmy the beer. Players, let's start with Alan.
You hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
He got a couple of big bank scores. Now he's living the high life.
Jay.
Did you hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
He's moving up to the Pacific Northwest. He's going to be a logger.
Alicia.
Did you hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
They did him in. He's like a ghost now. Every time you say his name, you feel a genuine draft.
Dave.
You hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
I roughed him up real good. Now he's ailing.
All right, Amy.
Hey, did you hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
Oh man, all that trouble he got into came to a head.
Alan.
You hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
He was running from the cops, but he got past them. Nobody runs from the cops like his Heine can.
All right, Jay.
Did you hear about Jimmy the beer?
No, what?
Well, let me put a little light on the situation. He's no bud of mine.
Oh.
Nice. All right, let's switch it up. Let's get one more suggestion from FM here.
All right, we've got soup. Soup.
All right, Jimmy the soup. Players, begin. Sam.
Did you hear about Jimmy the soup?
No, what?
Yeah, he can't even hold down a job. He keeps getting canned.
Jay.
Did you hear about Jimmy the soup?
No, what?
He's taking up art. He's got this new picture he's painted. It's like 14 pictures of Andy Warhol in all different colors.
Nice. Alicia.
Did you hear about Jimmy the soup?
No, what?
No one will talk. Everyone's clammed up.
All right, Dave.
You hear about Jimmy the soup?
No, what?
I cold clocked him. Now he's seeing chicken and stars.
Okay, that's time for the game of Jimmy the Pigeon. That is also time for this evening's match. So before we get a final score, one more time, a round of applause for both teams. Wave your fingers in the air, give them a round of applause at home. Show your appreciation in the chat. Both teams did an excellent job here. And now we're going to check in with Dr. Voice in a moment for a final score. But one more time, a special round of applause for our teammates from Oregon who came out here on their Friday night. It's very early for them. They weren't even off of work yet, I think, out there. It's that early. So I think that it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon still out there. So
It's yesterday.
It's yesterday. It's that early. They're across the date line already. So the international date line. And now to heighten the suspense, get a little drum roll going on your laps or whatever's in front of you, preferably not on your keyboard. It damages the keyboard, but drum. Everybody drum. And Dr. Voice, what's the final score?
Ooh, so many puns, so many scores, and at least 1 unicorn, and 2 Yodas even. What are we to do? But with a final score of 20-25 and -1, your winner for tonight's match is your Milwaukee Cheeseheads!
Milwaukee Cheeseheads, man.
It's close.
A very close matchup, and we'd like to remind everyone to head over to portlandcomedy.com to get all the information on our Portland CSz brothers and sisters. In fact, let's say goodbye to them right now, shall we? I think we shall. Jay Rambo, thanks for coming. Sam Whittington, a pleasure to have you. Amy Milstein, you were wonderful. And for your Milwaukee Cheeseheads, say goodbye to Dave Wirtz, Alicia Altstetter, and Alan Guzkowski. And of course, a big thank you to our referee for tonight's match, Mark the Biscuit Redlick. We appreciate ya, and we appreciate all you coming tonight.